Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paolo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. In tonight's game plan, we'll put the spotlight on the Bay Area Dragons after their hot start in the PBA Commissioner's Cup.
We'll also go through a brand new edition of the Shot List featuring the breakout players to watch out for in the PBA. And we'll take a look at some NBA media moments that broke the internet. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The Bay Area Dragons have been making a statement in their PBA debut. Now, let's find out more about the undefeated squad from Hong Kong. Joining us tonight are Ju Song-wei, Hayden Blankley, and Glenn Yang. Thank you very much for joining. Oh, Coach Brian is here as well. Coach Brian Gorgian as well. Welcome to the game, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate you guys. First off, I'll start off with Coach Brian because I didn't get to talk to you right before the show. You've been here in the Philippines for quite a while. It's a bit different, I'm sure, of a setup compared to what you're used to. Can I get your thoughts on your first two games and basically how you're feeling about the team and the competition you're all facing right now?
Well, I just, for us, everybody would know we're a brand new team with a bunch of players from all over that have never played together. So we're a work in progress and real excited about how our teams improved through the 9 preseason games. And to start the season 2-0 is really exciting for us. And I just think that, the lessons learned in this so far is that the Filipino basketball, compared to what we're used to, is played at a really fast pace. Mm-hmm. And that no lead is really safe. And that these as players that we're used to in the competition that a lot of these guys have played before, they're extremely quick. And it's up and down more than that we've played prior, and then there's also a toughness to this, the Filipinos play with a lot of emotion, and that's different than Chinese basketball. Chinese basketball is more stoic, less communication, and I think this has been a real and what's exciting about us being here. We are different. We play different, and I think it's good for the Filipino basketball because we're bringing something to this they're not used to, and for us, it's a great learning tool for Chinese basketball. The passion that the Filipinos play with, the quickness that the Filipinos have, and the toughness that they play with. No lead safe.
Yes, Coach.
And so a lot of learning here.
Well, Coach, sorry, Coach.
I've just really enjoyed it.
Sorry, Coach. I hate to cut you off there, but then I just want to pick up on a certain point that you made there. You mentioned playing with emotion, and that's something that you as a group of Chinese basketball can learn from. And I want to ask Ray in particular, Ju, when they talk about the emotion, and that's something a bit new, do you feel that on the court? And does it carry you away sometimes, personally? Ray, you there?
Go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, no, I was just asking if you do feel that emotion on the court. That feeling.
Can you say the question again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
sure, no worries. I was just wondering if you feel that emotion on the court. Coach mentioned the Filipino emotion in terms of basketball. Do you feel it on the court? Did you see it on the court?
讲了在当地比赛的那种热情啊，在赛场上那种情绪。
All right, Ray, we're gonna get back to you in just a bit, all right? But I'll let you sit on that first. Hayden, Hayden, are you there?
You should probably ask the question to Glenn. He speaks both languages.
All right, I got you then. Glenn, you heard the question there. Just a bit about the emotion that the Filipino basketball is showing. Do you feel it on the court? Does it carry you away sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. You see it every single game we've played. They on and off the court, they're yelling, they're screaming. It's fast paced, aggressive. So I think for a lot of the Chinese players that come here, they're not really used to that yet. But I think they love to see it, and it's all new to them too. So we're getting used to it as it goes. And I think in the end, it'll be a good thing, to see that side of the game. It's something you don't see as much in China.
Right, I want to go to Hayden Blankley now. Hayden, you've been averaging double digits in the past 2 games. I just want to ask you, how are you able to adjust so quickly in the Philippine basketball game here in the country?
I think playing Division II college in the U.S. helped prepare me. It's a pretty similar play style. Like we play, it's small ball and fast pace, and it's still pretty physical. And so I think that helped. But also I worked pretty hard once I found out I was going to be playing, I worked pretty hard to prepare myself, talking to the coaches, making sure I was working on the right thing. So.
All right, so we're going to try Ray again one more time. Ray, what's your impression of Philippine basketball?
It's very competitive. Everyone we played against so far, they really compete. The game is fast paced. The local fans are very, very passionate about the game of basketball.
All right, so thank you very much for that. Coach Brian, before we move on, that last game, you talk a bit about the emotion. We definitely felt it, especially towards the end. And you've had a career that really brought you traveling around and playing against all these other teams. What have you learned personally so far that you feel you can take on moving on in your own personal career?
Well, I love the constant change, and I think the whole EASL is about what they're doing in Europe. When I went to China, China plays different than Australia. Japan plays different than China. And all of these things you learn from and you grow as a player and as a coach. So for me, there's a lot of things going on in this game, even internationally when I was with the Boomers and I, got a bronze medal, that the adjustments are immense. Small, quick, switching, showing, transition defense. There's so many things that are different. And then on your side, using your advantages too, So I think as players, this is what Filipino basketball needs. More of this, if in a big picture, is these players out of your local league need to go on and be international players, and your international team wants to get medals. In order to do that, they need to play different competition than just with their own, like they're doing in Europe. And this is what our team is bringing to the competition. And there is no doubt when I'm coaching and I look down the sidelines, there's an extra energy from the opposition, from these Filipino teams to our team. They do not want to lose to us. They are more passionate about being competitive. They want to kick our butt. And that helps us develop. And also it brings out an element in their basketball that's good for them. And I've enjoyed the competition. I've enjoyed the passion, and I'm learning. And so's my team. So I hope it's on the flip side as well. If you interviewed the 2 teams that we've played, I think we bring something different to the table than what they're used to.
Coach, you know what? You gave us a great game last time around, and I wish we could have you on, all of you on for a podcast, actually, because I think we can talk for hours, but we don't have that time here. But we'll see you again really, really soon, and we hope to have you on again. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got more hoops because after the break, we'll list down the breakout players to watch in the PBA Commissioner's Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to the game. With a brand new PBA conference firing in all cylinders, it's time to list down the names of breakout players to watch in a brand new edition of the Shot List.
You know, I'll never be sick of that photo, no matter how many times we say it.
It's actually the first time I saw it.
A month now, 2 months
my.
actually. We can actually change that.
Let's not. There has to be institution here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Reyes joining us here again. Dip, we now have a list here of the breakout or potential breakout guys dito from Mikey. Who do we got first?
And interesting, no, because of course it's a new conference with imports pa. But we're gonna look at the locals who have the chance to break out amongst the imports. Okay, unahin natin sa listahan si Matt Nieto of the NLEX Road Warriors.
Well, with Matt Nieto, there are a lot of factors that you can put into and why I feel like he's about to break out. Number one is he's coming off an injury. So he was injured last conference, mostly of that last conference. So he never really got his footing in. And also with the trade that they traded away Calvin Oftana, I feel like Kevin Alas will have to play a little more too. So that one spot is pretty much free already for Chris and Matt Nieto. And based on his first game performance, he had a great game, led his team to a win against his former coach, Coach Yang. So I'm very excited for things to come for Matt.
You know, I was gonna ask kung issue nga ba yung bagong coach, but then that's also gonna be a reason for the next guy that we have here. Ito, you mentioned Leonard Santillan. Again, new coach coming in, and does that normally mean for you na that might mean more opportunities for this guy?
Well, I think go both ways. You know, alam naman natin yan, with coaches, may kanya-kanyang mga bata, may kanya-kanyang mga style. But with Leonard Santillan, we all know what he can do pre-Coach Yang. Now we're about to find out what he can do as Coach Yang, as his coach. Because based on their game yesterday against Ginebra, you could see the confidence in Leonard Santillan. I know he shoots threes, but pull-up threes, fast break, like that's Coach Yang's, you know, mumurahin kita kung di mo itira yan perspective eh. So, kitang-kita na agad yung effect for all these players actually.
Ito, first two players natin, new coach. But this time around, this player is reunited with his old coach back in the college days. Aljun Melesio, na parte na ngayon ng Converge Fiber Xers.
The first time that I saw the news that Coach Aldin Ayo was gonna, you know, was named the coach of Converge, minessage ko na kagad si Coach Aldin. Coach Aldin, first of all, congratulations. Number two, nag-request na ba ng trade yung Aljun Melesio? I was just waiting for it to happen because I could feel that Phoenix needed a different position. They have a lot of one guards. Mamaya pag-uusapan namin point guard nila.
Yeah.
But for Aljun Melesio, I covered that game with Coach Alan Gregorio. I told him, feeling ko inutusan to ni Coach Aldin na if you don't push that basketball, hindi kita ipapasok. So the way he was just pushing that basketball, kitang-kita. And we all know what he can do as well.
You know what? It's funny because as a Lasallian, I can fully attest to the Aljun Melesio experience under Coach Aldin Ayo, and it's bound to be very fun dito sa PBA. But moving on, Arvin Tolentino playing with a chip on his shoulder because of being traded from Barangay Ginebra to Northport, and he balled out in his first game.
First week, Player of the Week honors right away in the PBA, and I feel like he's just the ultimate professional. You know, he didn't get a lot of minutes with Ginebra. Of course, he won championships though, so I'm sure he's not complaining.
Yeah.
But now moving on, and like 2 days after the trade, he had to perform, and he balled out against Phoenix, and then he also was so close to leading, along with Robert Bolick and Roy Sumang, leading them past Bay Area. So with Arvin Tolentino, we all know what his talent is. But if you give him that green light, and under Coach Pido, who is known as a player's coach, you know, sky's the limit for Arvin.
Last but definitely not the least on the list, si Tyler T. Nabanggit natin, no? Yung lumuwag na ng konti yung position dito sa backcourt ng Phoenix LPG Fuel Masters. Why Tyler T?
Well, I was actually talking to him in a podcast this past week, and he told me the moment he sat on the table when he was drafted by Coach Topex right away said, we are looking for a starting point guard. So if that doesn't mean confidence and that doesn't mean that they have plans for Tyler Teo, then of course, diba, kitang-kita mo na doon yung confidence na binibigay sa kanya. Although he struggled in the past 2 games, he led the league in 3-point percentage last conference. He has been struggling with that 3-point shot now. But you know, the reps and the time will be given for Tyler Teo.
So we have a bit more time here. And then, of course, when you look at all of these guys, syempre, especially with guys like Aljun and Tyler, as well as Arvin, the last 3 that you mentioned, arguably will have a lot more usage. Pero can you give us a bit of insight on yung the weight of that responsibility, especially for a guy like Tyler? Kasi having to fill in the shoes now of a Matthew Wright cannot be easy.
Well, obviously, that will be a collective effort. You can't really replace Matthew Wright 1-for-1. But Tyler Teo's outside shot, more or less, he's more or less the go-to shooter already for Phoenix, and the way he will play alongside, of course, JV Mocon and the other players. As for Arvin and also Aljon Melesio, just being able to play for a player's coach, known players coaches na talagang ilalabas lang nila yung laro, and they will allow you to ball out. You know, exciting times ahead.
Well, we can't wait to see all of them again in action. At tignan natin kung tama yung shot list ni Mikey Reyes. And again, he shoots very well dito sa show na to. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Reyes, we're not done with him yet because after the break, we'll check out the internet's favorite NBA Media Day moment. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. The NBA will return in less than a month, and fans cannot wait to get everything started. Like every other season, the NBA started with a media day that featured a lot of interesting moments that went viral over the basketball world. Now, still with us to talk about some of these moments that broke the internet, and of course, a guy who breaks the internet himself, is Mr. Shoot First, Mikey Reyes. Now, okay, there's so much to talk about here. I don't know if we should tease the Laker fans muna by saying, like, Pat, Bev, and Russ, is that real? I don't know.
Feels like a dream still,
It feels like a dream, and they're friends all of a sudden.
Friends all of a sudden. And we know that history na nangyari doon. OKC pa lang si Russell Westbrook. But I always say this, as a player, people still don't understand that what happens on the court usually stays on the court. And yung timeline naman na nung tagal na nung mga rift nila, I think, Laker fans have something to be excited about.
We actually have a video of Pat Bev, so we're going to play that here, and just to get people an idea of what happened.
Can't really take everything you do in the game and to put in real life, but since I've been here, he's been, if I was to have right now, I don't know, I've been here, 2-3 weeks, but if I was to have a best friend on the team right now, for sure be him. We spend the most time together. We've been locked in, lift weights together and all that stuff, so I'm super excited.
There are things I don't believe when I see it on the internet. That might be one of them. But then here's another thing that was controversial, Dip. Itong si Giannis Antetokounmpo has a take on who's the best player, and you can never guess who it is. We also have that clip here, so let's listen in on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I think the best player in the world is the person that is the last man standing. You know, is the person that takes his team to the finish line, and helps them win the game. You know, win games and become champion. I believe that the best player in the world is Steph Curry. It's still the next player.
Mikey, what can you say about Giannis saying that recently just won MVP, but then had nice words to say about Steph Curry?
Well, that's the easiest way to call the best player in the world. Who is the current champion? And I can't deny that. Siya naman talaga yung nag-champion.
Yeah.
Whether or not you played great in the 82 games, who was the last man standing? So right now, it is Steph.
Yeah, that's really true. And of course, another thing that kind of went viral, sort of, is, Jello, Joint Mello.
Yeah.
In
Jello
Charlotte.
Ball o Jello Vito?
Ball. Jello Vito. Nandyan lang yata eh. I don't know if it's... Anyway, pero again, the Ball brothers are returning for Charlotte. And then, of course, very flashy, the Ball brothers. In anything that they do, Dip. And parang masaya siya.
Kung meron tayo sa local scene, mga magkapatid, Ravena brothers and the Giles. Ito, it's interesting, in the NBA scene, you don't often have brothers in one team. What can you say about this partnership in terms of itong Ball brothers, Mike?
Well, only one thing crossed my mind when I saw the news. About time. It's about time. Because Jello has been balling for that same team in the G League, in the Summer League. So, it's about time that he gets the shot.
And, from happiness, let's go to sad times naman. Here we have DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton does not look happy. DeAndre Ayton says that he's okay. But if you've ever read a book or read a room, I'm not so sure.
I feel like kasalanan to lahat ni Luka Doncic. And
True.
Lahat sila actually malungkot.
Apektado pa sila. But we saw DeAndre Ayton during the media day when he was asked how he feels like coming back to the Phoenix Suns. And we saw his reaction. Is that time to overthink ba, overreact dun sa ginawa ni DeAndre Ayton? Or normal lang yun? Baka pagod lang siya eh. Diba? Media day, pagod na siya.
I feel like he needs that Russell Westbrook mentality. When Russell was asked if do the Lakers even want you here? And what did he say? It's my job, I have to go to work. Ito nga, they matched the offer. So they want you there, DeAndre. They paid you a lot of money to be there. So, I would want to see more enthusiasm from DeAndre Ayton.
Did not talk to head coach Monty Williams
since
Game 7. So, grabe talaga. I don't know if it's because work-life balance, I need to separate work from life. Pero either way, DeAndre Ayton does not look happy. But it could be seemingly unhappy lang naman. Moving on, now here's something that, I don't know, I can see a Mikey Reyes rocking this one day. See, Jimmy Butler came out and swears this is not an extension in terms of what he's wearing there. Dip, I don't know. Bagay ba kay Mikey yan?
Kailangan natin siguro yung picture susunod sa shot list, kailangan edited na kasama
yan, no?
Dreadlocks. But sabi nga ni Jimmy Butler, right, he's just here to break the internet and for them to talk about something crazy. And what do you think about this new hairstyle, Mikey, nito si Jimmy Butler?
To be honest with you, the hair doesn't surprise me because he's tried a lot of crazy things in the past. It's actually shaving the goatee and the beard.
Really?
Doon ako parang, baby face. This is Jimmy Butler. So, excitement though around Miami.
To be fair, tama ka eh. Because he will not play with that hair, but he will play without the goatee.
Yeah,
it's
different.
That is different. That is another angle I didn't look at, and that is a top-class analysis from Mikey Reyes. Mikey, maraming salamat. Really appreciate you coming on and just chatting with us about ball. We can't wait to see the NBA resume, I'm sure.
Appreciate you guys always.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo De Rosario, and this has been The Game.